Hey everyone, it's Monica with KydzLydz for my journey to a happier, healthier me. On Saturday, my Thanksgiving day today, and I was telling you all about it. So, let me see. My day started off at 6 o'clock this morning. Look at me. Look at how tired I am. I look ragged. Oh my gosh. I shouldn't even be doing a video right now. See what happens when I get tired? I have a lazy eye since I was a kid. So this eye like travels over here. So I start looking at you like one eye here and one eye here, and you're like, what the heck? But that's normal for me. So, my breakfast, if you could call it that, was kind of just a taste of my homemade bread with some vegan margarine on it. And then, yeah, because we were busy from like 6 until when we served dinner at about, like I said, it was lunch. I think we had everything on the table by a little couple minutes after 12:30 at the latest, because Kevin had to go to work, right? So, it was beyond amazing. It was just so wonderful. And what I did was when I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, I had my alarm set for 4:30. Like I said, I completely ignored it and was not getting out of bed until whenever I wanted to. So 6 o'clock it was. I looked at the time and I'm like, 6 o'clock. Okay, I have 6 hours to make all this food. I better get up. And am I ever glad that I did? From the moment that I got up, it was nonstop go, go, go. I started off by putting something on the stove. It was insane, and it went really smoothly, so that was just really cool, except for some glitches, which I'll tell you about, that are so funny. So, oh yeah, I put the cranberries on first thing this morning, so that's easy. Bag of cranberries, 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of sugar, and you simmer it until like it's thick enough. And sometimes I'll put a little bit of cinnamon or lemon juice or whatever, but this year I just did it plain like that because we had so much other food and I just wanted to leave it by itself. So that was delicious, by the way. And then I made a loaf of bread. So I started off with the bread, and thank God for timers, because believe me, I had timers going off left, right, and center so that I would know what I was doing, so that I didn't miss anything, any steps along the way. I wrote a list, told you I'd go by lists, and I went like chart. Like, it was amazing. It was so awesome. I got Kevin up at 7:30. Karen showed up at 8 o'clock to stuff the turkey with Marina. So she brought her stuffing over. She makes different stuffing than I do. And they stuffed the bird. The bird went into the turkey oven. And we actually have the turkey roaster that sits on top of the freezer. So that was going. And then on top of the stove, we had the stuffing. So that is carrots, turnip, potatoes, and I can't honestly remember if I put onions into boil. Sometimes I do. Yes, I think I did. So I put onions in there, and then you boil it until it's cooked. And then we got the tofurkey going. The tofurkey was amazing. All I did for that was I put it in the toaster oven. This is one of the hiccups in the road. I had it in a ceramic casserole dish. I put some of the mixture of roasting vegetables in there. So squash. We used butternut squash, potatoes, sweet potatoes, onions, carrots, celery, and some vegan margarine, salt and pepper, and savory. Put that in the bottom of it and, mixed it around. And then I put the tofurkey on top. And it didn't fit in the toaster oven. And I'm like, oh my God. So all I did was I flipped the tray holdery thing around so that it was this way instead of that way. So the bump is usually this way. So I just turned it so that it was this way, so that it had a little bit more room. And it fit. So that was extremely funny, because I'm like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? And I'm like, okay, we'll just transfer it to something smaller, but figured it out. So then we got that going. And then we started on all the other things. So I cut up the sweet potatoes, and I put them in a dish with the butternut squash for candied yams, and candied sweet potatoes, because yams and sweet potatoes are 2 different things. And if you don't think that they are, and you don't believe me, look it up. Yams are a tuber, and sweet potato is a vegetable. If that makes any sense, it's like crazy. But you could actually eat a sweet potato raw. Oh, look at my hair. Anyway, you can actually eat a sweet potato raw, and it wouldn't make you sick or anything, where if you ate a yam raw, you could get, well, your mom always told you that you could get worms from eating certain vegetables raw, so you can actually get worms from it. But anyway, that's another story. So then, oh yeah, and we also put like the vegetable mix on the bottom of the turkey, and rubbed it down with like this herb butter. They used real butter for the turkey. So for that, I mix chopped garlic, like minced garlic, salt and pepper, savory, and mix it with the butter and make like a savory butter, and then rub it all over the bird and get that going. And that cooked at 350 in the turkey oven for 3 hours, which it just like seriously falls off the bone. That thing is like amazing. It's like having a huge crock pot cooking your turkey, but it cooks it in like super duper time. So it's almost like a pressure cooker, but not. I don't know how to explain it. And then we did a green bean casserole, which is just green beans, mushrooms, and cream of mushroom soup. And you just layer it and cook it. You don't put any milk or anything in it. You just pour the soup right out of the can in layers, and it's amazing. I don't like it, but they do. I'm not a fan of mushrooms at all. They're slimy and gross. And they're fungus from, trees. So we call it tree toe jam. I think it's funny. Anyway, and then we had caramelized onions. So we did that in the big, huge wok. It went in stages. And thank God that we were actually not having to use the stove or the oven at the same time to cook things, because why I say this is we had the turkey in the oven roaster, in the turkey roaster, sorry. We had the ham, which Kevin did with pineapples and brown sugar, and it was actually a honey maple ham. So that was cooking in the crock pot over on the kitchen counter. The turkey roaster was on the freezer, and then we had the tofurkey in the toaster oven. And inside of the oven, we had on the bottom, we have this like really cool oven that fits in the exact size of my cookie sheets, fit in as if they're like one of the racks on the oven. So on the bottom rack that comes with the oven, we had the roasting vegetables. So that was the sweet potatoes, squash, and onion, mixed with just butter, salt, and pepper, garlic, and I think that's it. Yeah, I didn't put any Greek seasoning or anything, because not for Thanksgiving, I don't do that. So that was on the bottom. And then the next level had the green bean casserole, and then a packet of my stuffing. And to do that, all I did was the 3 main vegetables that I told you. So potatoes, carrots, turnip, and then you mash it all together, and you put in chopped onion, garlic, salt and pepper, and savory, and mix it like crazy, and it's almost like this really goopy, mushy thing. And then you rip up bread, and you soak it a little bit with water, and you dump it in, and then it's like this really, really messy thing, right? And then you take dry bread and crumple it. So that was what the homemade bread was for. So then out of a whole loaf of bread, we ended up having about this much to actually eat at the end of the day, because all of it went for breakfast, because Karen was here for breakfast. So everybody had homemade bread warm out of the oven for breakfast. It was wonderful. And yeah, so then that I just put in a glass baking dish, and like a loaf pan, and cooked it in the oven. And then on the top, we had the candied sweet potatoes and something else. Oh, and roasted garlic, which we didn't actually eat, but we can have that. I love, love, love using the roasted garlic. When you roast a head of garlic, literally all you do, or how I do it, I put 2 layers of foil on, like, on the table, and I usually do 3 heads at a time. So I chop the top of it off, only like a little tiny bit to expose the cloves of garlic. And this is a raw garlic head that you're using, right in the skin, and you put that on the foil. You put that on the foil. So here's your foil, here's your garlic heads, 1, 2, 3, and then I put a little tiny drizzle of any olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you want to use. I sprinkle salt and pepper, and because we were doing it for Thanksgiving dinner, I put a little bit of savory. And then close the foil, pack it up like you would a baked potato, and you cook it in the oven for 1 hour. So I just put that right beside one of the dishes, and that cooked for an hour, and I love, love, love. And then when you know how garlic is really strong, but if you make roasted garlic, it's like garlic butter. Oh my gosh, it's heavenly. So you can use it as a spread on bread for, they use it in tapas bars, which is like, appetizer bars. And it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Or you can mix it with butter and make a nice garlic butter, or in my case, vegan margarine. And then we had, I said the homemade cranberry sauce. Then we had the caramelized onions, which is simply thinly sliced onions that you cook down, and then you add some brown sugar, and it caramelizes them, and they taste divine. We had deviled eggs. We had sliced cheese. We had, oh yes, so let me tell you quickly. I'm already at almost 11 minutes because I'm talking about just food. Isn't that sad? Or just our Thanksgiving dinner, which is wonderful, not sad. So, the ceramic dish for the tofurkey, I kind of noticed that it was getting a little bit dry in there, so I'm like, oh, let me add some water. Yeah. I didn't put cold water, but it wasn't as hot as the water that was in the pan. So guess what happened? Crack! I'm like, oh my god! So, picture a little tiny toaster oven and a ceramic dish that had water in it. A perfect ring cracked right off of it. So water is now trailing all over, coming out of the toaster oven, down onto my microwave, and onto the microwave stand, and onto the floor. And I'm like, ugh! That's not the word that I used, but you can guess, can't you? So Kevin grabs a towel, stuffs it underneath, and we're figuring it out. We grab the cookie sheet. We have to pull the whole tray out and slide it onto the cookie sheet. Thankfully, it was ceramic, so it was a clean break. There was no glass shattering or anything, thank goodness. So then we had to transfer that into something else. Oy vey. And it doesn't matter because the tofurkey was absolutely amazing. I didn't use the gravy or the wish sticks or the cake because I just didn't need to yet. And then for dessert, you know what they had? I didn't have any dessert yet. I'm going to have mine. I'm going to open up the vegan cake and have it. They had, from Ed's Homemade Scoop, pumpkin ice cream pie. Does that not sound heavenly? Believe me, I have tried the pumpkin pie ice cream from before when I was actually eating dairy products. It is amazing. It tastes like pumpkin pie. He puts all the exact same spices, and it's just to die for. So it's a homemade pizza crust, a homemade pie crust, sorry, that they make with just butter, graham crumbs, and sugar. I think that's it, right? And then you just put the pumpkin pie ice cream in there, and it's like mounded like this. So everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good!" And that was the only dessert that we had. That's the first time ever that I didn't have like 12 things for dessert out on the table. But everybody had an amazing time, and I'm so thankful that everybody was able to make it. Everybody, of course, tried to help, but I'm like, get out of my kitchen kind of person because I have a system and I had everything written down, and I have to do dishes along the way. And so at the end of the time, there's no dishes left for us to do because I can't stand that. If you have not only the dishes that you ate, the dishes, sorry, that you ate from, but also all the dishes that you cooked with. So not in my books. As I cook something, the dishes are done. So we probably did the dishes around 30 times today. And then Kevin went to work. He actually did make it on time. And Karen and Shireen and Nicole, Marina, Alif, and Muntaha, they all left. And I had to sort the fridge out so that I could put all of the containers for the food in there. Went to bed. Oh my heavens, it was beautiful. I went to lay down and I slept for about an hour and a half, and I woke up and I am very exhausted. My arms, my legs really hurt, and I don't know if that's because I didn't do any exercise today other than doing the cooking and everything, and I'm used to like walking my butt off all day. And as you can see today, look, I'm at, wait, sorry, 0, because I didn't even put it on because I was just in the house. So I'm going to go for a walk. If I feel up to it later, I'm not going to push myself. I will have a day where I just do nothing. I deserve it. So that's it. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Please subscribe, comment, thumbs up. I love you. Happy Thanksgiving. Share your smile. Bye, everyone.